I would like to invite Liz Zarate to the stage, our Chief Marketing Officer, and take a minute. We want to take a minute, just like a couple of announcements before we go into this particular session. First, thank you so much for bearing with us. I know that there is no pee breaks or anything like that during the program. We make you work all the way through, but what we're trying to do is important. We're trying actually to inform each other, educate each other, and like look at important topics. So there will be networking at the end, however. So stay put, stay put, stay here so we can so that we can advance. I want to make sure that you check on your folders, the yellow folders that are following the dress code here that we have, right? Lisa and I, the dress code, the folders have information about the different initiatives that we have, so that you can have a look. So if I may, what we wanted to talk to you about is a little bit of what I mentioned before. We think that we're in a breakthrough time, that we have all the conditions to win. We created the Hispanic Star based on the idea that we needed a symbol to unify us all, given the fragmentation that we have, given the diversity of the community that we have, and understanding that we Latinos, we're 200% of a person. We're 100% Latinos, but also 100% American, sometimes a 300% of a person, because we bring our Mexican or Colombian or Cuban origin, but we're all of those things, and we can embody that. We needed to understand that, like the taking the star from the American flag, the ñ from Portuguese or Espanol or virgulillo, you put it together and boom, there's a symbol. Think of the rings of the Olympics, or think of the rainbow for the LGBTQ. At the end of the day, we don't have a symbol. We're so diverse. So we wanted to bring the marketing piece that unifies us, that we can see each other there, but also a platform to showcase the incredible contributions of Latinos to the country. So a symbol and a platform and a framework where we can all put our objectives together, our shared agenda together, and advance, and recognize that we have to do a repositioning, a rethinking, a recreation of our narrative, where we understand that America is made of stars, and Hispanics are one of them. Sorry, you moved on. Yeah, and we're getting a lot of traction. We launched this Hispanic Star as a framework 2.5 years ago. 2.5 years ago, we're working with more than 300 companies, with more than 100 Latino organizations and leaders that together under the Hispanic Star Alliance represent more than 10 to 15 million Latinos. And we have a presence in more than 30 cities, so through Hispanic Star hubs, like the hub that we have here in Miami, led by Carolina Beira, that has have a lot of implication and a lot of organization. We have a number of instruments like the Hispanic Promise, which is the only corporate pledge in America to hire, promote, retain, and celebrate Latinos, that has more than 30, close to 30 Hispanic Star organizations. Looking at Michelle, always checking on me on the numbers. That has a number of Hispanic Star organizations, and an instrument like the Hispanic Star Fund, which is pretty much like a war chest, where we're trying to bring monies that have not been devoted to the Latino community forward, so that we can advance those 4 priorities that I mentioned before. Last year, we did our first pilot on the Hispanic Star Fund, bringing 50 scholarships for nurses, Latina nurses in New York, in Northwell, bringing them from Procter & Gamble, IBM, and TikTok, that were actually able to deploy funding so that they can advance people. If you don't mind, and we're pretty much actually trying to bring a calendar that educates the Latino community, that mobilizes corporate America, and that advances our unification, the way that we can create those networks. The most important Latinos in Miami, the most important Latinos in Chicago. We're bringing the hubs so that we can all support our agenda and our priorities. And as we know, we're critical to the country and we're critical to corporate America. But the problem is that we don't have pride. We don't have the education that our population, as we know, we don't have the inclusive environments in corporate America, and we're not unified. And that is why we wanted to talk to you about joining efforts in one particular area, which is our narrative. How do we actually join forces to set the record straight, to make sure that every Latino knows of our own contributions, to know that non-Latinos know of our contributions, and so that we can actually change the narrative from invisible to visible, from negative to positive, and from takers to makers, so that we can change the narrative to understand that Hispanics are a pro for America and that we are positive contributors to the country. And for that, Liz, if you want to go to the next one. And for that, we wanted to bring to you in a couple of minutes an opportunity that is around the corner, which is Hispanic Heritage Month. And we know that Hispanic Heritage Month is only 1 month a year, is not every year, is not like the other 11 that we're forgetting, but trust me, as a marketer, I know that it is very hard to break through the noise. It's very hard to become actually, like to have a single voice, and not only to have sing from the same song sheet, but to sing from the same song sheet together. But if we can agree on one single moment in time in which we can all deliver a single message, with a single, like in a single time, is going to be much easier. So before playing this is the 3rd year in a row. What we're going to present to you is a toolkit that we prepared for all of you to be able to know about it and understand whether this can be useful for you. This is the 3rd year in a row that we prepared it. It is not perfect. It is not, like it was, again, like the first year was a pilot. Last year, we tried actually to get as many companies as we can and as many players as we can possible. I think that this year, if we join forces, we can make it bigger, better, and bolder than ever. So I'll show you some of the highlights that we were able to do last year. Again, bearing in mind, it was only our 2nd year.
I knew it was going to happen. I just didn't know it was going to happen so fast. And I've seen more than 100 companies that didn't celebrate Hispanic Heritage Month before celebrated this year. If you haven't done anything for Hispanic Heritage Month, do it. Celebrate Latinos and be proud. Latino unity, Latino pride, we're Hispanic stars ready to shine.
Thank you so much. I cannot tell you how many times I've watched that video already. So there are 3 ways in which we are suggesting you to activate for Hispanic Heritage Month. As Claudia mentioned, it's a very important date for us as a community. So there's internal activations to celebrate your Hispanic stars, external activations to engage with your Hispanic consumers, and joining our activities. So I'm going to play a short video that explains in a very short and easy way how can we use the toolkit, the Hispanic Heritage Month toolkit, and then we'll see some application examples as well to clarify more. The time for Latinos is now. Let's unite forces for Hispanic Heritage Month and set the record straight that Latinos are positive contributors to the country and the growth engine of America. Hispanic progress is American progress. The Hispanic Star Toolkit has everything you need to activate during Hispanic Heritage Month in one single place. We have prepared assets and materials ready for you to use. A unifying messaging framework to unify under one single voice. This includes key messages, narrative and talking points, templates for internal and external communications, ready-to-go presentations about the power of U.S. Hispanics, and more. It also contains unifying datasets to spread the word about the power of Hispanics. This includes A to Z facts and figures from the most reputable sources about demographics, behavior, and sentiment of Latinos in the U.S., as well as did you knows and infographics. Lastly, this toolkit contains unifying brand and communication assets with application examples to equip yourself. Web banners, display ads, online video, radio scripts, out-of-home, print materials, and more. Navigate Hispanic Heritage Month with confidence, and let's elevate together the narrative of our community. Let's set the record straight that Hispanics are a pro for America. Download and use our toolkit at hispanicstar.org/toolkit. So if you go to that website, you will find everything that I explained in that video. So I want to stop a little bit in the key messages for Hispanic Heritage Month. We've been mentioning all along the importance of us in unifying under a single narrative. So for us, these are the 5 most important data points that we need to have. These are all contained in a briefing book that is very comprehensive and has like everything we need to learn about Hispanics in the US and for Hispanic Heritage Month. The first one is Hispanic progress is American progress. All of these key messages have evidence points that will help you for that. The second point is Hispanics are positive contributors to the US today, yesterday, and tomorrow. The third, Hispanics are breaking through barriers, disparities, and lack of opportunities. The fourth, Hispanics are shaping the culture and are an active and trusted part of the community. And Hispanics embody 200% of a person, 100% Hispanic, and 100% American. This is not new. We've been saying it during the whole session. So for now, I'm going to go very quick just to be mindful of the time. These are some of the activities that we are going to have. The first one is the toolkit, which we already explained. If you have any further questions, feel free to reach out. Also, we want to invite you to kick off with us on September 15th for an opening ceremony. In the past, we've had companies that have used our opening ceremony as a kicking point for them as well. So welcome to do that as well. We are launching.
Can I just say one thing about that, if you don't mind going back?
Of course.
One is that the official theme of Hispanic Heritage Month is Unidos, inclusivity as a benefit for all, or something like that, inclusivity for all, but pretty much is the same message that we're all delivering here. On September 15th, what you will count, and I really want to make sure that companies, like Telemundo, Morgan Stanley, IBM, have a confidence point of 60 minutes of high quality video with everything you need to know about Hispanics. That is, like informative, inspiring, and entertaining, so that you can broadcast it in your company. We're going to give it to you. It's going to be broadcasted on September 15th from 3 to 4 p.m. EST. We're going to give you the material 1 week ahead of time so that you can have a look and revise it, so that you have full confidence that what we're broadcasting is of highest quality and very much on message that is aspirational, vibrant, positive, and yeah.
Yep. Okay. And as I was saying, we're launching the 3rd volume of Hispanic Stars Rising. Some of you that are here in the crowd have already been showcased in there. So and another big important activation for us are the children's book with a partnership with Macmillan, and we are trying to create role models for Latino children. So the first 2 editions are about Celia Cruz and Roberto Clemente. So this is a very exciting one for us. And I'm going to go quickly through some activation application examples that just to sparkle some ideas and imagination for you. And again, if you have any ideas or further questions, just reach out. The idea is to make your city visibly Hispanic friendly, activate art centers, take over the streets, like have retail activations, showcase anywhere you can and everywhere you can, the Latino contribution, the Latino power, some grassroots activations as well. And yeah, I mean, I think that with that, we're gonna wrap it up in there. And again, thank you for being with us.